guys. Ika mama, mailan ako pa mama. Ika mama, oh. Ano na?
O aking binibini, ikaw aking napili.
Ay!
Look, I'm not talking about it. Don't worry about that. We're getting ready for today's feeding.
I was thinking it's picture.
No, it's not a picture, it's video. It's video.
Yeah.
This is Christopher, my brother-in-law. He's the main chef today. He cooked the pancit and the chicken, the bread.
Subscribe their channel.
That's what I'm going to talk about. Hey, what's the name of your channel?
Christopher Pinunggan.
Say it again. So,
Christopher Pinunggan.
yeah, good luck with that. We'll see if we can link it for all you Americans out there. Anyway, we're preparing today's meal for the kiddos. It's something special for them, and they really like this. Pancit is noodles with chicken in it, and carrots, and garlic, and onion, with sliced bread. And sliced bread is a something that they don't get around here a lot, so it's really nice. It's a treat, and so we're going to do that. My brother-in-law here, he's got his channel. He's wanting people to subscribe to him because our dream is that one day we'll have a video that'll go viral, and YouTube will pay us lots of money, and then we won't have any trouble keeping lots and lots of kiddos. So, I don't know. He's trying to get me to go to this place and jump off the falls into the water, but he's trying to get me to dance, and y'all know me, I can't dance, so I have zero rhythm. Unless nobody's watching. If nobody's watching, I dance good. That's Lynn. She's walked in on me before. Anyway.
He's a good dancer.
Yeah.
Nanay.
Nanay's a really good dancer. She's a good dancer.
The personal collection lady, she said, dance, it's okay.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
dance.
All right. Anyway, we're getting ready for today's feeding. Next time you see us, we'll be there. Later. Christopher's going with me today to do the feeding with the kiddos, him and Pastor Darwin. Lynn's going to stay here because we're going to Ariberta Falls today when we get back home. But we got in the car earlier and something just smelled horrible. It's like, man, what is that? I thought a cat got in here. A big rat got in here and pooed. And he's in here somewhere. I don't know where he's at. But if he jumps out on my feet when I'm driving down the road, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Anyway, things you have to live with here. Anyway, we're off to go feed the kiddos. Special treat. Yeah, I like that shirt. Anyway, budget pancit and lechon. Yeah, you guys will like it. Good morning. God is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
God is good.
Amen. Hi, Christopher. All right. Okay. If you'll get along.
Linya. Mga bata. O, ilan mo pagdulang. Manadiling man. Ilan mo kayo. Okay, before na mag-start, tapos sumot sa tubuan. Kita. Okay. Magawa. Salamat. Kaon. Maamong. Kaon. Kaon. Pangalan ni Jesus. Amen.
Don't let the dog get it. He get it.
Okay, ang umana,
Hi, girls. Ah, I got you. You didn't know it. You didn't know it. Just got back from feeding the kiddos and back here at the house. And I'm having a horrible day with Pooh today. Had a rat in our car. I don't know if he's still in there or not, but he has to be the size of a small chihuahua. And smelled horrible in the car. And when we got to the sawmill to feed the kiddos, somehow or another I got dog poo all over my leg. My sister-in-law is teasing me because she said poo means money, so I guess that means we're gonna have money coming soon. And anyway, it's what kind of day I'm having. And but that's it for today's feeding. Now we're about to go to Ariberta Falls. It's a place just a few kilometers from here where the springs in the mountains flow down the mountains into this area, and it's beautiful, and there's these falls. The water's super cold though. And we're gonna bring some rice and some fish and some banana and just have a day there and relax. It'll be our first time to do something like that in over 3 months since the lockdown. And so we're gonna go and do that, and I got some things to talk about, and so you guys come along with us, and I'll show you some pretty stuff, and we'll talk a little bit. Love you. After today's feeding, Lynn and I, along with some family and friends, went to Ariberta Falls. It was our first time in a little over 3 months to be able to just escape and get away since the lockdown began. It was so refreshing to get away from all the gloom and doom and the negativity. It did us all some good, and we came back rejuvenated. For several years now, I've come to the understanding that we are all creators, that wherever our thoughts are, wherever our desires are, and where we put our energy or what we put our energy into is what we will manifest or create. That's why in most of my videos I try to express love, that love is the cure for everything. And you know, this is the same thing that Christ did. This is the same thing that all the apostles know. It's the same thing that all of those who come to know Christ within try to teach, is that love conquers all. And it is so easy to get distracted this day and age, especially with all the social media and things that we have. And whenever you have an algorithm that entices you with negativity, and then whenever it shows you negativity, it keeps leading you around to show you more and more and more. It makes it almost impossible to stay focused on love, because all we're bombarded with is images of violence and hate and everything that's the opposite of love. Now, I want you guys to try and understand what I'm going to say here. I've got a question, but kind of the answer with it. You know, what if all of this negativity, all this negative energy in the world that's going on right now is being amplified and caused by us? We are receivers and transmitters. Now, there has always been violence and hate in this world. But now I want to talk to my generation and the ones older than me. You know, those of us who were born in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Those of us who were raised before the World Wide Web, before the internet went online. Before the internet, you know, there were problems with racism. There were problems with religious extremism. You know, those things have always been around. But we as a people were changing that. Albeit it may have been slow, but we were changing. Now it seems as though there's nothing that we can do to stop this explosion of violence and hate. I watched the end of a movie the other day called Tomorrowland. And in this movie, there was a scenario where the world was going to come to an end. And there was a reason for that. In the movie, there was a group of people from another dimension that was influencing the thoughts of mankind by always showing them what was going to happen to the world if they didn't change their ways. They were showing them, what they were doing to the world through pollution, through violence, through war and things, because they thought it would make these people wake up. But instead of waking up, the people of Earth embraced it. They embraced all the negativity. They fed it. And the more they fed it, the bigger it got. It was like the snowball effect. And before long, there was no stopping it. Y'all remember back in the 70s, they started showing us things like Nostradamus. He was predicting, or they were assuming he was predicting the end of the world. And then, as we got the internet and we started going through the 90s and the early 2000s, then comes along, the Mayan, end of the Mayan calendar, December 21st, 2012, and everybody was focused on the end of the world. It seems like nowadays, and I'm guilty of doing this myself, is the first thing I do whenever I get up in the morning is I check all the news feeds just to see what kind of crazy incident may have happened. It's like I'm part of the problem. What I suggest that maybe all of us should do is not necessarily disconnect from social media, but let's go back to posting pictures of puppy dogs and our children playing and loving one another. Let's see how long it'll take for that algorithm to go insane trying to bombard us with all this negative energy, and whenever it sees it can't do that anymore, then let's see what happens. We as human beings all have the Christ within us. All of us, black, white, brown, no matter what, we all have divine love within us. But we've all been distracted. Let's go outside. Let's not let Facebook and YouTube tell us how bad the world is anymore. Let's get out there and share that love with everyone. Everyone. No matter their skin color, no matter their sexual orientation, none of that. Stop judging everybody. Let's get out there and heal with love and watch what Christ will do. Now, I can already sense right now that there's some of you just dying to get on that keyboard and start typing in Bible verses and trying to remind me how homosexuals this and this, that can't enter into the kingdom of heaven. But that's honestly not up to us to judge. What we're to do is show the light of Christ, show the love of God to everyone. And whenever they experience that love for themselves, Christ will handle whatever needs to be taken care of within each and every one of them, and us included. I love you all. God bless.